Yo, welcome back. So today I've got my good camera, I'm working on a bank holiday, we've got a double DIN fuse box board supplied by Expert Electrical. Use my code Bundy10 for 10% off everything. I'm going to try and do a voiceover. Nick's classic voiceover is going to return for a full video, hopefully. We're going to set it on the side. We've already got the board on the wall. I've just done a short, mounting it, putting the tails through. We've come through the cavity. The meter box is just the other side, just like behind this socket here. We've got the cables coming from top entry. We've cut it out. We're going to be putting some more round band in the trunking. We put some grommet strip in the top of the board where we've cut the slot out. But I thought it'd be really interesting to show you almost a step-by-step guide of how we try and make it neat, try and be methodical behind it, and try and separate the circuits out. We've got this is a 29-way RCBO board for battery storage, PV, for car chargers, maybe an extension on the house, or some garden lighting, that sort of stuff. So that's why it's such a big board going in here. So yeah, enjoy. We are back. First of all, let's get this delicious Ancel Hyperflex glove on. Link in the description below, no problem. Let's get the tail clamp off and removed because we don't really need this for this situation on this board. Hardest job we're going to get out of the way with. So we're going to strip our tails, we're going to bend them up, and we'll see in a second that I decide to put the live in the neutral. Decide it's in the wrong one, switch it over. Not a problem, easy peasy. We'll get them in. We're going to move to the main earth now. We've looped up behind, as you can see, to give us some slack if we ever want to future move it and mess around. Bang that in, jobs are good, and just touch it for no apparent reason whatsoever. And then I'll leave the bit in when my glove goes near the camera. Right, now we're putting the link between the top and the bottom earth bar. This isn't necessary in my opinion because it's earth through the metal, but I like to do it with a nice swooping bend. I think it's just a bit better practice. We're going to separate our cables now that all come from top entry to our biggest cable first. We've got a 10mm that's running to the shower. So we're going to pull that down. We're going to try and organise them as best as possible as they come through the trunk and in the top. We'll see me put my thumb on it. That's where I'm going to gauge where I'm going to take off the grey insulation. We'll run the knife round. We'll grab the earth. CPC. Don't shoot me for saying that. We'll pull that up. And this is what we're going to do the process of elimination on all of the cables as we're pulling it through the board. So one by one, poking it in. I decided for this board as well to make it a little bit neater, a little bit more easy for the next guys. Print on some labels, cable flag, do them all across on every single circuit. We've got another 6mm there. We're just going to go along now, strip every single cable as best as possible, poke it in its place. So now when we've done them, we're going to poke across all our 1mm. That's going to go right down to the bottom. As you can see here, pull, pull, pull. There we go. That's good feeding, that is. I like it. We'll change the camera angle now. I accidentally forgot to film of me putting the all-round band in the top, but don't worry, we've got some footage of that coming later. This is separating the 6 amp circuits on the left, the 20 amp circuits in the middle trough, and all the 32 and the 40 amp circuits on the right. You can see here, oh look at this, out of focus shot, brilliant, fantastic. How'd you cut your all-round band, Nick? Just like this. Snip, delicious. What I've been doing is using the spit nail gun, which you'll see in a second. This was actually my first time ever using it. I know this video was filmed a while ago, but I thought, hey ho, I'll give it a go. And it worked, a treat. You're welcome. So let's just get some footage of the board here for no reason. Looks nice. Next, get the lid on. Get it out the way, because it just got in my way a lot. We'll clip that on, slide it. I'm not putting any corking on it or silicone or anything like that, because at some point, the board is going to come back off. Here's a time lapse for some apparent reason, me opening boxes. Thought this would be interesting for everyone. Guess what? It's not. Right, so going to the RCBOs. I always start with the last one first. It means we can dress our neutral fly lead behind all our cables as we're feeding it across. And then the second you will see me use is a combi driver with a ratchet setting on it. Oh, first we're going to get the buzz bar. So I want to line up here to figure out exactly and count them across, which I probably edited out, of what number the last break is going to sit on. Here's the combi. We're going to go across and start putting our neutral fly leads in. They're done very loosely and we'll be done up with a torque driver afterwards. I promise you. Do not send me a letter cancelling me. Now we've started to dress that, the best thing we could do is tuck our grey insulation down. When we tuck our grey insulation down, we do our bend upwards to bring our live and neutrals in the correct order as they are seen on the RCBO. Here's me messing around with something I can't really tell there. Bending it down, this is how we get the nice little bends. So we hold our right thumb on the back and we use our left thumb to measure the height of the snip that we're going to do. Drop the cable 3 times in a row there, nice. I'm going to snip this, strip it back with our croppers, and this should allow us at eye level height to get exactly the same bend on all the cables. This is me terminating the neutral. Oh, yes, turny, turny, turny. And now the live. Yep. Cool. Should have left this bit in the edit, never mind. Turny, turny, turny. All this is done up with the torque driver afterwards after we've tested. So here's me now. What I've done now is putting the buzz bar in. I'd rather do this now, which will start. Oh, hang on, no, I'm not. No, he's not. He's just fibbing. He's just fibbing with you. It just allows us for when we start tightening up all the RCBOs above that we get no bending of the RCBOs or the MCBs themselves and twisting within the board. So we get the breaker in, get it to correct torque setting, get the buzz bar in, get it to correct torque setting, ain't gonna slip. Now we're doing the earths. So I always leave this till last. We bring them out in the right position above each individual cable between our live and our neutral. This allows me to push up from the furthest side, get it dressed in nicely, cut it to the sort of correct length we want. I think I do show you this in the edit, where we get a rough guide of where we're going to bend it. We'll pull it back out, we'll straighten it out, we'll sleeve it up, we'll snip it, and then there's literally barely any excess of wastage of the earth sleeving. I don't even know what the next clip is. It's this. Right, we're finishing off the top board. All the top breakers are in. There's my hand and the shot again, mint. Same thing for down below. There's not a lot more I can show you with this, but starting from the left hand side, we've got all of our blanks in and ready, just so I can get a buzz bar in there and position to find out exactly what number breaker goes into what. I'm using the combi drill again. Don't worry, don't panic. I've got this. Just going to show you here. We're going to strip the cable, and then we're going to snip the cable. Yep. Then we're going to terminate the cable. And apparently all the board's done now. So what I'm doing now is a few cable ties around our fly leads. Once again, don't shoot me. It's a very low current board. It's not a three-phase board. So we're grouping factors with this. Realistically, in my eyes, as a competent electrician, you've got no worries putting one little cable tie in just to tuck the fly leads out of the way. And now I'll just put my thumb on loads of cables. And they're up. Fuse board on, lid. I just wanted to double check that we're in the right position if I need to move the breakers over slightly with the screwdriver. But I'm happy with that. And the voiceover's coming to an end. Thank you and good night. Back to me here. Thank you, voiceover Nick. I presume you did a cracking job. So what we've got on the left here, we've got some sweep and bends up in this corner here, bringing it down, and we're bringing it sweep down. Like I said earlier, we've cable flagged all the cables, and I just decided not to do the smoke alarm cable because it's bright red. Positioned out, obviously we've got a hell of a lot of spare ways here. I found that's the best way that we can get it as neat as we can. So like I said earlier, we're cutting the grey insulation off just shy of the breaker. We're doing a bend back up and bringing enough CPC up into the top where it's also coiled around in here to give us a bit of room for testing and if we need to move some stuff over. So we've got a 40, two 32s, 5 20s and 5 6s. I'm going to get this connected up in the board. We're just going to start doing some testing, but what I'll do, I'll run you around a little bit with the Brother label printer and how we do the nice labels on the front. Right, I'm out of McDonald's. It's about 3 o'clock, well, about 2:30, 25 to 3 in the afternoon. I've had a good once around the property because we still had all the tools, materials, rubbish and everything here. That's all tidying away now. The only thing I've got left to do is put the hoovers back in the van. I'm going to get the trusty Mega out. This was a brand new bag. I don't know why you can see that. Well, it's just been sat here. And this is the thing, if you have a rewire, and you're chasing walls, prepare for it to be dusty and messy. All my customers are fully aware. They're going to have a deep clean themselves after we've left, so that was all pre-agreed to us doing it. So yeah, I'm going to start doing some testing. The board's isolated. I'm going to get ourselves our usual suspects testing. Then I'll show you through with the label printer. Right, the board's all done now. Tested, everything's sound, everything's happy. But we're going to get the board labelled up. So we've done our schedule of test results, which are here. Bada boom, bada boom. We're just going to copy what's on there. But the app, so I've got the Brother label printer. I'm going to put the 24mm tape in. I'm glad I reminded myself with that. For labelling it up. I want to turn this on and we've got to go to the Brother label app, which is the one I use. I'm going to go to print logs because I can't remember how to set it up because I've already set the measurements up. We go to print log and we're doing main switch from the right, 15 way, 17.5mm. This is 24mm tape. Right, so that now, because I've already set this up before on my phone, it's already linked up through Bluetooth. It like connects its own to its own Wi-Fi network. We're going to go across and copy exactly what we've put in on our phone, on the iPad onto the phone. So this is one I had before, which is like the last fuse board I did. Generate that across, print it off, then I'll show you what it looks like. Right, that should in theory, haha. So this is a brand new tape that I've just purchased, and I bought some like fake aftermarket ones off Amazon. And they just didn't work. I've had a few before that have worked, but the issue with it is every time that cuts there, it would almost drag a bit of the cartridge back in. So then if you click print again, it would then just spin up and print off within the printer. And every time we wanted to print something off, it had to take the cartridge out, pull a bit of tape out, put it back in, let it cut, and repeat the process. So always just, to my knowledge, just buy new ones. And the thing with this as well, when we're doing the board, best way to label it up is physically put the lid on, and then it's just, we can line everything up perfectly like this. Now I've just realised while doing it on, I haven't taken a picture of it for the thumbnail, so let's get it back off again. So annoyingly, there we go. I was about to say sometimes they don't stay up, which they're not really meant to, but we can line that up with the SPD. This tape that I've done, it's slightly, and I mean ever so slightly too long, sort of the finished product, if you'd like to line that up there. Oh no. Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. And Bristol Sparky, if you know him from Instagram, he's got YouTube as well. One thing he showed me, because I would normally peel it off and peel it off all the way, he showed me this actually prints off with a cut section in the middle, like this. So you can line that up, because when you take all this backing tape off, it just coils up, which is like back to where it was in the cartridge. If you were to line that up, you can get the top stuck. And you just lift the bottom up, and then give it a little cheeky rub as it goes down. Everyone likes a cheeky rub. That is way more professional than the stickers out of the box. Let's get the other side done, and then I can take it off and take a picture of the thumbnail. I hope you can see that, but that is... Right, I'm going to get a few of the board stickers on, which we're meant to, then we'll sign off. Right, to anyone wondering, I did go around with the torque driver, which is here, and the bit is just here, in case you want to see it. It's just fell down the side of my bag, never mind. Torqued up to correct torque setting. It says it all within the board and on the back of the lid as well, in case you're wondering. But you can also Google it. Go on Fusebox or any of the brands, you can find out what torque setting. It says it on the RCBOs, obviously top of the DIN rails as well. So make sure you tighten it up, because that's what causes house fires. And we're done. Ha! Delicious. We'll have the cooker off. It's taped on. There's no cooker at the moment. There's people turning around coming to fit a new one, so they can deal with that. I've tested the end point, so I'm happy. If you enjoyed the video, like it. Like I said at the beginning of the video, like the video please, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye.